Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the December 10th Al-Anon readings, Encouraged to Change, and a little time for myself. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Begin with a little time for myself. And I will take a moment and read this over. The question of the day is, what ways can I be more receptive to the abundance in my life today? This is I think it's a very interesting passage about a person who was not accepting all the abundance in their life. And when they experienced an extremely painful situation, somehow they came to believe that they were worthy of all that their higher power offers them. And they say that truly believing that they deserve abundance took courage. And it doesn't say it, but I'm sure that it was a program that helped them. Today's reminder: our higher power provides us with amazing abundance and joy if we are receptive to it. And the quote is from Reaching for Personal Freedom. Our lives are richer, larger, and more wonderful when we don't limit ourselves. What ways can I be more receptive to the abundance in my life today? So reading this passage made me really think about the idea of humility and how working my program helped me to realize, based on the concept of humility, that we're all no better, no worse. We're all equal, all equally worthy of love and acceptance. Made me realize that that includes me as well. So how can I be more receptive to the abundance in my life? I've been practicing this for a long time, and I do feel like I am extremely receptive to the incredible gifts in my life, the amazing abundance, from breathing in a full breath of air, to being able to drink the water that comes out of my faucet, to having a roof over my head, to appreciating the people in my life. There's always work to be done. There are always improvements to be made. Maybe today I can focus on the nice, comfortable, heated house that I'm sitting in because it's one of the coldest days so far outside, and it's sunny, but it's very cold, and it's physically a little bit uncomfortable. So I guess that's one way that I can be more receptive to the abundance. But then again, I was already grateful for the heat in the house. So I don't know, I have to think about that one. What about you? What ways can you be more receptive to the abundance in your life today? I don't want to be sniffling through this. So excuse me. Okay. I will take a moment and look this over. Oh, we've got a tab on this page, so I'm excited. All right, I'm going to read. This is about accepting unacceptable behavior. It's about step four inventory. So, step four, the exact wording of step four is made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. So, this is saying that step four can help us decide what is acceptable and unacceptable behavior for us because we discover who we are, what we believe in. Things that are working for us and things that aren't working for us. And once we know that, then we can determine what is acceptable and unacceptable for us. And it's also mentioning that we don't have to tell people what we're doing internally. Just responding in a way that works for us. But I've got to say, through personal experience, people were so surprised when I started to do things differently that I had to explain that, well, I felt like I wanted to explain that I was working on myself, and I was sometimes, if I trusted the person, I would even say I'm working on my fourth step, or I'm trying to determine, I'm trying to set some boundaries. I'm determining what works for me. People were always kind of, they seemed a little bit surprised. Today's reminder talks about how knowing our boundaries has nothing to do with changing other people. It just means taking care of ourselves by respecting our own boundaries. And the quote is from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And it says when we respect ourselves, we are safe. That's nice. I really have personally been through quite a journey. I think everyone who works the Al-Anon program eventually gets to the point where they can say this, where like I am who I am, like the soul that I came into this earth with is still the soul that I have now. However, I feel like I'm much more authentically myself now because I understand myself enough to know what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and my priority is doing what works for me. So I spend a lot of time thinking about and acting on ways to feel well and be true to myself. I can't think of another way to say it. So yes, the fourth step, inventory, definitely helped me do that. And step 10 goes along with it. Step 10 is not mentioned in this, but for me personally, continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. They go hand in hand, because just because my intention is to do what works for me, it doesn't mean that like I'm not making mistakes. Like I make mistakes all the time, constantly. But I'm so grateful that I feel like I'm on track as far as determining what is acceptable and unacceptable to me. And I mean, it's not an absolute given. I have to think about it sometimes, because sometimes I feel like I should want to do something, but I really don't want to. And so I have to, like, it's a constant. When I say, like, minding my own business and focusing on myself as a full-time job, I totally mean it. I say it quite often, and I totally mean it. It is a big job. So we'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.